Now, before we start, let's get one thing straight. Now, I'm amongst friends, but I always have to be sure. Now, you all know. Yeah, you went? Oh, dear. Now, you all know what a flower is, don't you?
We do.
And you all know what a dower is, don't you? Oh, well, I'm all right then. I say, it's these posh places that bother me, you know. Sometimes we ought to bring the baby with we, but we have to be ever so careful, you know. I says to the missus tonight, I says, should we take him? I says, well, I don't know. I says, you know what a game we had the last time we took him out? I says, well, I did. It was a posh place we went to. And of course, I say we used to bring him. And I says to him, we took him the once and he played up. So the last time I says, now look, it's a bit of a posh place we're going to tonight. I say, I'll be on your best behaviour, are you? He says, oh, Dad. I says, now mind your manners. He says, right-o. I says, you know which fork to use, don't you? He says, oh, Dad, I do. I said, now look, you've got a handkerchief, have you? He says, why? I said, we want none of this game, I'm telling you. I said, you must use your handkerchief. I says, and keep your mouth shut. I said, I don't want you to show me up, because you know how posh I talk. I says, so keep your trap shut. Well, he was busting. He behaved himself beautifully, he did, honestly. They put cream cakes on like you've done here tonight, and a salad. They done everything right. Until he come to the cream cakes. Well, me and Mum miss it. Well, we don't know where to put this then. On top of this plate of cakes, there was a chocolate eclair, you know. Oh, it was beautiful, all the cream oozing out. You know the sort of thing, don't you? You've had some, have you? Oh. And he got this cream cake, you know. And I kept watching him and he kept going. I thought, shh, mind it, watch what you're doing. And he kept looking and he kept itching forward to this cream cake. And all of a sudden, a woman went at this cake. Well, me and my missy, we don't know where to put this then. He made one grab. Oh, I said, oh, no. I told you how to behave, you sen. I said, what's you done that for? I said, hasn't got a tongue in you yet. He says, oh, Dad, but it wouldn't stretch that far. The snap ain't the same now, is it? Aye, it ain't, is it? I mean, all this cag-mag you'll get now. I mean, the boiled ham ain't the same, is it? Looks like plastic when they put it on the plate, don't it? I say, and what about all the remedies? All these posh antibiotic things you have now? We didn't have them years gone by, did we? It was a bit of comfrey, war it? Aye, and a bit of hen fat, you remember the old hen fat? You know, I had a boil on the side of my neck, and I went round, and first one said, you know what you want for that, don't you? I says, no, you want to put so-and-so on it. And you went next door and I says, what you got, a boil? I says, oh, you know what you want to put on that, don't you? I ain't kidding you, if I'd have put everything on, I'd have had a bathroom. Mind you, you know the best remedy, remember the old remedy for the boil? The old bottle. You've got it. Aye. Yeah. It was busting all the time. Come on, it won't hurt you. And you hope the vicar day come in as I shoved it on you. I say and remember the old mothballs. They talking about the old times at chapel. You sat there in the choir. Mothballs, eh? I remember my old father, you know, he went one Sunday night to chapel. It's a true story, this is. And you remember the old tins of brill cream? Well, he thought it was posh day. He thought he'd pick some of my brill cream. What did he stick on his head? Zambuck. Oh. It's right. Yeah. Hey, I wonder how many on you remember this, eh? How many on you remember that? Do you know what it is? It's the good old oval black lead. Aye, oh. Remember the old black... Who remembers it, though, you love? Busting. Remember how you used to use it? Aye? Put it in the saucer. Oh, a bit of cloth. Oh, put a drop of water on it and push it all around, aye? Remember? And a bit of what, duck? And let it dry, aye, and then polish it like the blazes, aye? Oh. Aye? Remember the old stranger on the bars? Aye? You'll stop there and he'd come on the bars, and then all of a sudden, oh, look at him, we've got to get him off, it might be the rent man coming. Oh, dear. I say, what about the old oven brick? That was another thing, wasn't it, eh? You had some of your love, eh? You remember? You remember the old oven brick? You had it on the side. Looked at the clock and thought, oh, 9 o'clock, I'll go to bed, he can get him sent warm, and off you went, eh? Oh, dear. Oh, it was wonderful. Blackleg Grate and Dolly Tub, memories of the past, but they was part of heritage that forever may it last. A roasting fire and washing day to keep a flat iron hot, posh white shirts all stiff with starch, me granny washed the lot. Remember the smoky boiler fire, brewers full of smoke, bubbling, boiling clean flannelette sheets with a boiler stick to poke. Double event and dicky bow, shining bowler hat, tweed plus fours and working boots and evening shoes with spats. Bustle and shawl, big posh hat, nice white pinafore. This was the dress of bygone days when housework was a chore. No gentle washing machine, no suction cleaner sound, but the thump, thump, thump of the dolly tub as the weekly wash it pound. Friday was black lead day, brasses to be cleaned, but with elbow grease and polish they soon had quite a sheen. No one had a freezer, just a pantry sill. The snap was good and simple and your empty belly filled. There were no posh Axminsters, central heating all sublime, but a good bodge rug by a coal fire that made a brass fender shine. Every house had iron foot for dad to cobble shoes. Every mamma seamstress has her sot and mended clothes. Nobody had a telly to watch till her eyes went square. You was posh if you had a piano, but you all had time to spare to say hello and how's your health? Enjoy a little laugh. Oh, yesterday we've got it all, but are we better off? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Who remembers the old dolly too? Aye. The Monday morning rhythm. Dumpety-dump, dumpety-dump, dumpety-dump. You'd all got your own special rhythm, hadn't you, eh? This washing day's a right game, ain't there? There's still 1 or 2 dolly tubs about, you know. I don't know how I use a dolly tub, love. No, you've got one of them. You've got one of them automatics, are you? Are you? No. Heineck's missus have got a dolly tub, you know, and they moved her out the old bungalow, and they moved her into a block of flats. Well, they took this dolly tub with her. Well, it was a game, you know. Thumpety-thump, thumpety-thump, thumpety-thump. Well, the young ones went to her, and I said, what's doing? This what's me, what's doing? So I'm doing the washing, aye. I said, well, you don't do washing like that. I says, oh, do you? I can't get them right without boiling them and dollying them. I said, well, you can't do that in these flats, I'm telling you now. You've got to alter your way. That's what's me. I said, I've got rid of the washing. I said, well, you must go to the laundrette. I said, what's that place? I says, you know, down the road. I says, oh. I said, you know where the car park is? I says, oh. I said, well, there's them row of shops either. I says, that's right. I says, and then there's the public convenience. I says, oh, I've got it. Oh, that's where all that stains up the window. That's the thing, I says. I says, well, that's the laundrette. I says, well, I don't know where to go on. I says, it's easy. I says, you just take your washing, go down, there's a row of washes, you'll see them, they've all got a nice little hole in the front. You'll put your washing in, put 50 pence in, finished. 60p there, Rich. 60p's it all. Oh. I say inflation's catching me up with everything, ain't it? 10p's to get dry. It's cheaper to put them on and undercut, ain't it? No, I don't know. Any rate, it was peace and quiet in the flat for about 6 weeks. Then 6 weeks, dumpety-dump, dumpety-dump, the old washers back again. So, of course, I went and I said, what's doing? I says, you need say what's doing. The trouble you young uns have caused, oh, you have caused me and our Tom some trouble. So what's mean? I said, our Tom's going to leave me. I says, leave you? Why? You see, I got no clothes to stick on his back. So what you done? Well, I said, I thought I'd be neighbourly with you lot and do me bit, you know. I said, I thought I'd take the washing to the laundrette thing. I said, so I thought, oh, now where I'll take Tom's long johns and his gansy. I said, so off I went with his underclothes. I went down the road where you told me to. I went by the car park. Yes, I found that place like you said. I went in, yes, I seen that little hole that you was on about. Yes, I stuffed Tom's long johns down there, pulled the chain, and we had them back, yes. I say, all this trouble with the kids, though, they don't seem the same, do they? I mean, you think of the games you used to play when you was kids, you had busting times, day you? White toss kick the doer. Aye. And tin can I air key. Tin can what, my love? Tip cat, there's another good one, eh? Hit it now, dad go through somebody's front window. I remember how you used to be cock of the roost if you had got a ball. Aye. You went out with your ball and you got the biggest number of friends in the street. And you was never out, was you? Because if you was out, I'm taking my ball in, I played. Aye. And if you had got a bat, oh, aye, why you posh. Aye, bat and ball, handball, what was it, up the little fatty doctor, how's your wife? Very well, thank you, that's all right. That was busting times to all that. And the steam trains. Remember that? I think I had one go by not long ago, the old steam train, chuff, chuff, chuff. I mean, the kids ain't seen trains anymore, have they? So I remember as a kid, when you stood on a bridge to see a steam train go by, when you fastened string to a piece of stick to make a woodtop fly. Did you play football on the backyard pitch, your goalpost to coalhouse wall, play cricket with dustbins for wickets, and how to do for a ball? Girls played at shop with dock leaf meat and stoons for Madeira cake, and then poured water over there and your shoes with sludge was baked. Rainbow kailoi, sherbet dab, licorice stick to suck, a penny in your pocket and you thought you sent Lord Muck. 5 jacks, tip cat, hide and seek, handball up the wall, skipping with a clothesline rope, hopscotch a game for all. You always had to walk to school, summoned by the bell, and off you went and joined the gang with happy tale to tell. Sunday was still a holiday, with church and Sunday school. Both morning and afternoon you went to learn the golden rule. You touched your hat with great respect when your teacher you did see, and your mind wore full of Vulcan bionics because you was happy and carefree. And errand was your duty before you went to play, and you listened to your elders and let them have their say. You was grateful for what you was given, and never said I want. Present time was birthdays and Christmas, and all babbies went to the font. Pocket money was a privilege, and paid on Friday night. You spent it on suck and day worry, because you never got in a sad plight. Yes, life was carefree and happy, because you lived it as a kid, and growed up with old Mother Nature, and could look back at things as you did. I wonder with today's speed and science, and television games to play, whether they'll look back when they're 70 and say, oh, our childhood was happy and gay. Thank you very much. Holidays, wonderful times, are they? Has everybody been on their holidays? No, not yet. Mallorca? No. I ain't went to Mallorca, you know. I hadn't been on an aeroplane before. They had a right game with him, you know. They got him down to the airport there, and I kept, go on. He said, I'm free. Go on, he said, nothing to it. He says, like catching a buzz. He said, it's all right for you. He said, I've never been up there before. He says, it's easy, don't worry. I'll give you a bit of courage. So, of course, he gets him up the stairs and he keeps on shoving him, and he thought, well, I better say something. So the air hostess says, welcome aboard. He says, I can have a word with you, love. She says, yes, what can I do? He says, can you all let my mate sit by the window? She says, why? He says, I've been on a plane a hour. She said, what's that got to do with it? So I thought, well, if you got a bit airsick, you could open the windows and let a bit of fresh air in. They'd been up there about an hour, and he got over it all right, and he just getting settled down, and he looked out of the window, and he nodded his old eye, and he says, hey, I don't like the look of that. He says, what's up? He says, one of them things, it's them prong things. He says, I going round, it stopped. He says, oh. He says, mind you, it'll be all right, don't worry. And then the captain come over and he says, ladies and gentlemen, as your captain speaking, I don't want any of you to be afraid. Some of you sitting on the one side can notice that one of the engines has stopped. But don't let this frighten you, we've still got another one. It's all that it'll mean that you will arrive in Mallorca probably about an hour late. Heineck said to Hal, it's all right, him sitting up there, if that one stopped, we'll be stuck up here all night. He never took his missus with him anyway, you know. He wouldn't take her. Oh, he was a miserable old tinker. Any right, when he come back, I says, have you had a nice time? He says, oh. I says, you won't take me now, will you? All right then, you go. I'll tell you what, we'll go to Blackpool for a fortnight. I says, that'll suit me. So off they went. They went to Blackpool for a fortnight. They had a beautiful time. Comes back and they catch cold and they died. Oh, it was a shame. And of course they lay there in the front room, all laid out, you know. And the old girl come round from next door and they says, Heineck, do you mind if I pop in and have a look at her? Oh, he says, lying there, you can go. And of course the old dear goes in the front room and I come back and he says, oh, Heineck, her looks lovely. He says, lying there so peaceful. Oh, it looks beautiful, Heineck. He says, Heineck, you don't mind me saying? He says, no, my wench. It looks so sweet. It's got a smile on her face. His course as I don't know it's gone yet. Yes, it's took ears off her. Ears it's took off her. It has. He says, and Heineck, I'm going to go one stage further. He says, what's that, old love? He says, Heineck, hair looks well. Hair looks well. If hair wore jet, hair looks well. He said, oh, I just had a phone in a Blackpool, Now I want to do one that ain't really history, but it is. We've got all these new P's, ain't we? It's P's for this, P's for that, and P's for the t'other. And I thought, mind you, it was a rotten shame for all these coins to go by and not be noticed anymore. So I wrote this little poem and I called it Coins. Remember the days of the farthing, when halfpenny'd buy you a suck. For a penny you could go and buy a comic, and a threepenny bit wore on your wrist for good luck. For a tanner you could go to the pictures, a posh seat in the front stalls, and you always had summat left over to buy a stock me and buy one from Walls. A shilling was the Queen's pleasure, for it some men give their all. Ah, these were once coins of great value, although in size they were small. 2 bob was called a florin, 2 and 6 was half a crown. 5 bob in your pocket on Saturday, you could go and have a night on the town. 10 bob was an out made of paper, for which folks once worked a wick. A pound in your purse to go shopping, you could feed the old lot for a week. Fags was 2pence a packet, beer was a penny a pint, and you often had beef on a Sunday, 'cause in them days you could go and buy a joint. 50 bob was your best suit for Sunday, and it wore jeans and wore polo neck, but blue sage and posh Harris tweed and good worsted. And if you was posh, it was pinstripe or check. You'd have a car to go off in. Your transport was push bike or bus. But then you wore in hurry, 'cause life they go with a rush. On Sunday you all went out walking to look at nice country lanes. There was horses and carts and old milk floats, and for seasides there were stations and trains. Ah, money seen all sorts of faces, from Roman to Elizabeth reign. It's brought wonders and relief from suffering, but it's also caused heartache and pain. Thank you very much. Y'all seem a good little crowd and y'all can take a joke, so I'm going to do my little favourite tale of Ida and Aggie. I don't know whether anybody's heard it afore, but I hope we ain't got an Ida in the room before we start, have we? No. And have we got an Aggie in the room before we start? We're safe tonight. We're all right. Now, old Ada was the sort that lived in the street, and every street used to have 'em, and they've still got 'em. Sat there in front of all the net curtains behind the aspidestra, looking up that road and looking down that road. And I don't think anybody could see I was there. But you ask Ada anything, I knew everything. And if you got a new pair of shoes on, and out if the coalman had been, if the insurance man had stopped 10 minutes longer, and if old Sarah was going to do anything. And I sat there this one day, and it was a bit of a quiet day. It was a Tuesday, actually. The family allowance crowd had gone by and all the pensioners. Oh, and it was a boring sort of day. And I sat there in the front room, nothing going on, and I kept having a look up one road, having a looked up the other, and nothing was going on. You know the sort of deal of, y'all met them all. No. Then all of a sudden, I suddenly remembered that Aggie's daughter next door had gone for a music exam, and life was full of glee. I'd got something to think about. Oh, that's it. Young Sarah's had a music exam. Oh, God, I'll be back in a minute. And so I sat and her little old bottom was getting right out. Bridget! And I kept looking, and down the road, young Sarah come, all smiles. Full of the world, everything great. And I thought, oh, I must have done all right. Well, let her get in. I wonder how it's got on, you see. So I let her get into the house, and I thought, now how am I going to find out about old Sarah? Oh, no. I'll pop round the back. I borrowed some sugar yesterday, so I daren't go in for that. And I got some washing powder, so I daren't go in for that. Well, up the garden, they'd got the old dry loo, you see. You know, the double event, one side by side. I thought, that's it. I'll wait till Aggie pops up there, and I'll go. I can't say I'm poking my nose then, can I? So off I went. Hit the barn. Aggie comes out and trots off up to the little room. Ada follows her, and away they went. And they both got their little comfortable seats, you know, nice and comfortable, and got bedded in. Now I want you to imagine that scene, Ada one side and Aggie the other. And the conversation went a little bit like this. Is that you, Aggie? It says, I says, Sarah's come on then. I says, I says, look happy. I says, I was. I says, did a glass. I says, I says, what did her have to play? I says, right over this is, oh God, Aggie, that was a stiff piece, wasn't it? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Come wander with me down memory lane. Tales of the past and children played game. Memories of youth, memories of past years. Some full of laughter, some bring a tear. So forget today's worries, forget today's cares. Just sit back and relax, and with me happy memories share. Just for a few minutes, I want you to go back to many years ago. But first of all, I want to remind you of today. When the government want to know how many folks they've got in the country, they hold what they call a census. Now what you have to do is fill in a form and tell them how many folks you've got in your womb and send it back to the council. Well, thousands of years ago, ordinary folks couldn't read and write. So when they wanted to know how many they got in the wombs, they all had to go back to the place where they was born and be counted. Well, the place we're going back to is Bethlehem. Over in that country, They wanted to know how many folks they'd got in the villages. So everybody that was born in a certain village had to go back home. Well, you can imagine, can't you? Some of them had been left many years ago, and the kids as well. And they all had to go back. Well, you just imagine if somebody said to you, you've got to go back to the village where you was born. Well, there'd be a tardy crowd, wouldn't there? Well, this is how it was in Bethlehem. There was hundreds of folks, and they was all going back to their relations, and one was pulling another one up, you know. Well, of course, it was all on before all the houses was full, and all the pubs. Well, in fact, there was nowhere to sleep. Well, it was getting towards the end of the day, and a young couple come down the road, a carpenter and his missus. His name was Joseph, and her name was Mary. And as it happened, poor old Mary was expecting a baby. Well, they'd walked miles, and you can imagine how they'd be. They was tired and weary. They started to knock on different doors. They knocked on one. Sorry, we're all booked up. Then they knocked on another. Oh, I'm sorry, we just had a bed, but it's been took. I'm sorry, my wench, I can't help you. Down they went till I come to an inn. Well, you know, in them days, inns, you could get a bed as well as a pint. So they knocked at the door, and the innkeeper come down, and it was the same old story. Sorry, I'm fully booked up. Then he looked at poor old Mary, and he could see how it was fixed, and he thought, I don't know, I'd like to see if I can do something for her. I can't turn her away. He said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll find you somewhere to sleep. We ain't got a bed, but I'll do the best for you I can. Round the back we got a stable. I'm sorry, but there's some cows in it, but if you don't mind sleeping there, we'll fix something up for you. Of course, I was glad to go anywhere. So round the back they went, and the innkeeper chucked some straw on the floor, and there they was. They bedded the sens down for the night. Well, as I said to you before, poor old Mary was expecting this youngster, and I was reckoning I was tired with all this walking. And her had this youngster in this cowshed. Well, you can imagine by the story I'm telling you, Mary wore no ordinary sort of wench. Had been previously visited by an angel, and he told her about this babby I was having. And it wasn't going to be no ordinary babby. It was going to be somebody special. In fact, it was to be the saviour of mankind. And there it was, in this old stable, on a ruck of old straw, this babby was born. This babby that was to become the most important thing in man's life. It was to be the saviour of mankind. Well, just outside the village, there was some shepherds sitting watching the shape. And it was cold and the stars was shining. And there they was all huddled up to each other to try and keep the sens warm. And as they sat there, all of a sudden the sky lit up. Well, you can imagine, Coy, they was frit. Oh, what's going on? Oh, what's happening? Old man. And all, you know, they was all frit there. And then all of a sudden an angel come to him. He says, now, it's all right. Don't be frit. Don't be frightened. Nothing's going to happen to you. I've got some news for you all three. Tonight in the town of Bethlehem, there's been born a saviour. The saviour of mankind. And I want you all three to go and visit him. And I said, well, how are we going to find him? Where is he? We don't know where he is. And I don't know what to say. He says, it's all right. You see that bright star up there, don't you? And I said, oh. He said, well, you'll follow that. It'll keep going till it comes to rest over the top of a stable. And I want you to go in, and there you'll see my little babby. And this babby's name's Jesus. And he's been sent by God to save the world and mankind. So by now they was a bit wary and I was a little bit settled, and I thought, well, we better make sure the shape all right. So they tidied them up, and off they went. And they followed this star down to the village. And just as the angel said, it come to rest over the top of the stable. Well, I opened the door and went in, and there he was, this little babby lying in his mother's arms. And you know, as I went in the stable, a lovely feeling of warmth come over him. And I need no asking. I went down on the knees and I worshipped this babby, because there it was. This was the Son of God, and he'd come to save mankind. Now you just imagine that scene. 3 humble shepherds down on the knees, and a man and a woman and a little babby. Well, it was all on before all the village got to know about it. There was lots of excitement. Oh, a baby's been born at the back of the inn. Oh, you want to go and see him. Oh, he's lovely. Well, you can imagine, can't you? It was causing such a rumpus and such a fuss, and all excitement, and of course soon the message started to go around everywhere. The Son of Man's been born. He's come to save the world. He's come to save mankind. Well, it was long before it got to be known at the top of the tray. And of course, them at the top of the country, they wanted to know what was going on. So they sent 3 wise men to come and have a look and see what was going on down in this stable. And they come and they visited him. And they brought in gifts of frankincense, and myrrh, and gold. And there, my friends, there in that stable, in that year, was born the new beginning for mankind and this world. Well, you might say, well, what you gone and told me all this for? We've heard it scores of times. Well, I know you have. But I just want you to think and imagine. Just say the government said, right out, we're going to hold a census. We know you can read and write, but we ain't going to hold an ordinary census. Everybody's got to go back to where you was born. And you had to go back to where you was born. And late that night down the road, you look through the window and you seen a young couple walking tired. And you know, I've no doubt they'd look a very pretty sight, Joseph and Mary. They'd look a pretty bedraggled pair. Well, you just think, say you seen the same young couple coming down your village. I wonder if you'd open the door and say, oh, come in, my wench, you do look tired. We ain't got much room, but we find room for you. Or would you be like a good many more of today's society? Look at them and say, oh dear, look at that poor couple. I can't do anything about it, I'm too busy. Oh, they must do something about it. Something must be done, but I can't. I wonder, would you find room for a babby? But still more, would you find room for Jesus? 2 bunkies went out one day for a stroll, to look at the pits where once drawn was coal. To start their walk, they went up to Heights, but only found stumps where once stood the pit gates. They wanted to put gypsies where once they drawed coal. No more black diamonds be pulled up this hole. Down to the corner the fair lady to see. The railway is now empty, and on bunks weeds grow free. The slag heap's been shifted, the headgear's all gone. Old Mon Air was proud to give coal by the ton. Down into Norton where once was the green, all that's left there's a pit stack serene. Where once walked the bunkie with coal tubs to move, now stands the offices of the light industry grove. They flatten the pit top of poor old Jerome's to make way for factories and new Maximones. Now over the chairs we have stood threes and the fly. The sight of them gone made the poor bunkie sigh. We had electric from one, got tools from the t'other, once owned by a family, now run by Big Brother. They then caught a bus to see Walsall Wood, again of our factories where once copy stood. They'm filling the shaft with rubbish and slush, the same shaft where coal once come with a rush.
Now along Chester Road stands remains of a funny un that went by the name of the old Busted Onion. Kingswood and Cox's and Wilkin all gone. The Bonkies was sad, but with hope they walked on, to where stood the Grove and its disasters long gone. Men give their lives here in search of black gold, in Brennell's graveyard their stories told. The pit yed's gone, and the canal basin's jed, a minute of remembrance the poor Bonky bows yed. The sinking again's gone its sad way, and poor old Leecroft and Mid-Canacle rubbish tip today. But what's this down at Littleton? The Bonky's eyes shone, its pit yed will standing and coal by the ton. But where's all hosses, and where's all the steam? Oh, they've all been replaced, chaps, to keep the atmosphere clean. The men go in cars now, not the old bike. Coal's cut with machine now, not sweat and the pike. They made their way wum, as they both begun to tire, and looked at the grate and said, well, we've still got a fire. Let's go back to the old days, when we all sat down to good snap, and we all sat down at the table, not watch telly with tea in my lap. The bread used to have a thick crust on, and butter dripped out at the edge. Cheese day come from the fridge out of tin foil, but was a cognog and looked like a dough wedge. Beef was a joint on Sunday, pork had a roin yoke at chew, and the family gathered on Saturday for a dish of good rabbit stew. We drunk nettle pop by the gallon, chewed licorice stick by the yard, and we day have a bathroom and toilet, but a posh little room up the yard. Ginger beer was a must to warm you, poker in ale made you sweat, tripe and onions, faggots and bread pudding, it was all the best snap that you ate. We day go rushing to doctors, with flu and the first sign of cold, 'cause your granny or mother could cure you, with a remedy so sure and so old. Eucalyptus was good for your sniffing, hen fat was good for your chest, and your underclothes warm had a nylon, and must was a good woolen vest. Embrocation was used for lumbago, comfrey tea war really a treat, castor oil and Cenapod brew was good physic, that really made you move fast on your feet. Olive oil was good for your hearing, mothball and camp for your clothes, Epsom salt in a bowl of hot water was really good for your toes. Kids once played at cowboys and Indians, girls skipped with a wash day rope. At Christmas they were disappointed, 'cause all Santa bought was hope. Remember the shoes as had laces, and the best Sunday boots as kicked sparks, and you played out at night by the street lights, no vandals but just prankish larks. Reading and writing was subjects when the bell called you to school, and you daren't run home to your mother if you'd had the stick of the rule. You was happy to go and run an errand, to get a penny for suck. For a tanny you'd take your dad's barrow, and fill it with nice fresh horse muck. On holidays you went to a station, and climbed aboard a steam train. A day at the sea was a year's pleasure, and you know a day very often rain. On Sunday you all went to chapel, Mum and Dad went with you as well, and the preacher they just read from the gospel, but warned of damnation and hell. Oh, for a touch of the old days, with their customs and good ways of life, for I'm sure it'd certainly help we to enjoy our now fast way of life. I've come today to say thank you, God, for all you've done for me. From me early morning breakfast and me daily cup of tea. You'll care for me when I'm down that hole, in a well so black, and when I count me blessings, there ain't much that I lack. Oh, no, I couldn't swear a bit, call out your name in vain, but I know at times you'll shut your ears, 'cause you'll know I'm very plain. You'll give we trees that made the coal, that with pick and sweat we cut, and then the water which made the road to take it up the cut. We see the wonder of your hand in tunnels black and deep. There ain't no sunshine or falling rain, but we still your harvest reap. We seek your comfort in sorry times, when the roof begins to fall. We call your name in terror to watch over one and all. And when we see the light of day, as up the shaft we come, we say, thank you, God, we're up again. Another day is done. God-given flowers are a precious thing that man tries to copy to happiness bring. But try as he may with all of his skill to give colour and shape, he can a one thing fulfil. That's to bring forth life to the plastic mould. This is one gift only the dear Lord holds. God-given flowers are our life apart, from the moment of birth to our this world part. A baby's born, excitement's there. Forth come friends with bouquets to bear. We learn to walk through garden plains, and soon we're making daisy chains. To school we go in infant stride, flower in hand to win a teacher's pride. Mother's Day comes and a child's fortune's gone, to get their mother the special one. To woo your lover, create romance aurora, we now have the service of Interflora. God's given fingers arrange and design the beauty and splendour that make flower clubs shine. At weddings there's flowers for the bride and the groom. In homes they're put in the hall or front room. When we're sick and life's at low ebb, the sight of a flower makes happiness tears shed. And so through life to retirement and rest, but to many a man this is time for growing flower test. With God's own soil to give forth new sap, men struggle with nature floral beauties to trap. Life's like a flower, it's sown as a seed, comes forth from the earth like one happy breed. It grows and it blooms with the help of the sun, but then it's cut down when life's span is done. The soil looks so barren when no flowers are there. We must not lose courage, for the seeds have God's care. They will rise up again like true flowers can, not thrown to the fire like those made by man. So treasure your flowers with their fragrance and grace, for they are God's gifts to the whole human race. Time changing the face of the Midlands to concrete instead of blue bricks. They use shuttering and fast-setting concrete, 'cause they say they can build places quick. Gone is the shop on the corner with the character we all knowed well. Now we've got posh supermarkets with baskets to rush round and fill up like hell. I'm changing the snap in the Midlands to food all froze in a box. No more faggots and peas or pig's pudding. No more chickling, tripe or pork ox. The women don't go with baskets to look to see what's the best, but jump into the car with posh clothes on to put a posh calculator to test. I'm changing the folks in the Midlands. Yo quarter where they come from. When you once knowed each person to talk to, now it's a nod and you must hurry on. No more Tommy or Harry or Charlie as he staggered back full of good beer. No more kids, their jobs just a learning. They're all making the sense a career. But when they've changed the face of the Midlands, do you think it'll be all for the best? When the concrete's changed its colour and you'll caught out one for the rest? When the folks have all stopped talking and the deep freezer's frozen we stiff, we'll all start wishing for the blue bricks and black country cooking to sniff. Have you ever stopped and pondered and wondered what you're doing? Have you ever felt discouraged and wondered where you're going? Yet all of us are on a road, guided by a light. But sometimes life light dimmens, and we feel lost and in sad plight. Yes, the path of life we all must tread. It's up hills and it's down. There's straight roads full of laughter, rough roads with tears and frowns. Sometimes we're just like horses, with blinkers to we eyes, and can only see what's in front and never hear neighbours' cries. We miss the beauty that's around, a fellowship and friends, and just keep rushing on to a selfish horizon end. We sometimes make diversions and don't bother with the light, try to make we own destiny and end in a soddy plight. And then we all start screaming out for the special pilot's aid, who somehow always seems to hear, and once more you're not afraid. So next time you're feeling low and think you're the only one, just pause a while, look down the road, and you'll see the light aye gone. I crept at night in a small still room, and saw a face full of simple bloom, tousled hair and rosy smile. The world stood still as I dreamt for a while of childhood moments and precious thoughts, from the first time I saw you as in my arms you were brought. A wrinkled face, a tiny hand, Mother Nature's gift to her treasured land. But soon your wrinkles moved away, your face filled out to granddaughter array. First you stumbled, and then you walked, days of happiness when first you talked. Jumbled words meant such a lot, each magic moment not forgot. And then there is that magic smile that can stem sorrow or anger for a while. Oh, I wish the world could see the magic moments you hold for me. A simple face of peaceful bliss, lips from which come a loving kiss. Sleep on, my child, in your happy dreams. May your future be peace,